The mile's a pretty special one with Roger Bannister. Before it was like an impossible barrier that no one could ever beat. And I think that magic, especially within the UK, still definitely exists.
I think that there's a lot of history to it and we hardly have it in the UK anymore. Rarity of it just makes it even more special.
250 yards to go and Bannister takes over. Watch his giant stride take him to the front. The tape is broken and so is the record athletes have long been dreaming about.
The 4-minute mile barrier was first broken in 1954 by Sir Roger Bannister, and for the first time in 11 years this happened in Scotland. In September 2020 on the small 4-lane track at the University of Stirling, both Jonathan Davies and Ian Wright broke this once impossible barrier. My name's Hamish Hickey and I've decided to find out how this remarkable race happened in a year tormented by a global pandemic and what the future holds while Scottish running is at an all-time high. I started by speaking to race organiser Michael Wright about what made him create the Monument Mile.
Myself and Kenny Hislop, we were both conscious that Central Athletic Club were a high achieving club and yet we didn't have our own track event that we hosted for other Scottish athletic clubs. I was thinking, what can we do that stands out, what's different, what's unique, and the mile just ticks that box.
So the pandemic made the race much more challenging to organise. What was it that made you keep on going and not cancel it like many others did?
There's the wider Scottish athletics thing where we're a collective community, we want to see everyone do well, and in order for that to happen we have to have events, and Scottish athletics track season would have been a particularly sad season if we hadn't been able to go out with a bang with the Monument Mile.
After all the organisation and promotion, it was all down to the athletes on the night. So I spoke with the race winner Jonathan Davies about how it felt to finally run under this 4-minute barrier and be the first man to do so in Scotland for 11 years.
You just don't get that many opportunities to go like sub 4 minutes in the mile. It's really cool. Like, it was obviously one of those stats like you don't see until like afterwards. But yeah, it's definitely a cool thing, and like I think that's what kind of keeps it still a little bit of a more special barrier than perhaps it would be if you did miles all the time.
And with it being such a special distance, it gives the Monument Mile a rare opportunity to continue to grow in a way that other races can't.
Genuinely all came away and was just like, oh, it was really good atmosphere and stuff. Yeah, you can definitely see how you could like grow it and make it like a really cool spectacle.
And I guess the possibility to grow is thanks to COVID-19, as without it you might not have ran and broken the 4-minute barrier.
Yeah, I think it did, benefit from the time and like the situation last year. If it wasn't for the fact of COVID, I probably would never have done it, but there weren't a huge number of races and then it was like a good opportunity to run quick.
The next big landmark for the race would be able to get a Scottish man to run under 4 minutes on home soil, as that hasn't been done since 1983. I spoke to Mark Munro, ex-CEO of Scottish Athletics and current head development for British Athletics, about the impact this could have.
You want to see world-class performances in Scotland as much as possible. If you look at the effect from Glasgow, the number of athletes that have developed into world-class athletes has been nothing short of sensational.
A Scottish guy can run a sub 4 mile in Scotland the first time since the 1980s, and that's just another important landmark to show we're returning to a golden age of athletics.
With all the top athletes Scotland has at the moment, it means that the numbers who take part week in, week out sometimes aren't seen. People who are vital to the sport of athletics.
There's a very strong mindset within Scottish athletes. I think there's a togetherness within the nation that is Scotland, and those numbers are growing, and I think young talent coming through now are looking at likes of your Lauras and Lindsays and Callums and Butch and say, well actually, why can't I make an Olympic final?
Given the really strong community atmosphere within Scottish athletics generally, I think it's a no-brainer just to give as many people as possible a competition opportunity over the mile.
Great opportunities for athletes that are developing and coming through the systems, raising the profile of middle distance running, and the venue is stunning. It's going to be fascinating to see Monument Mile over the next 2-3 years because it could be something really, really special.
The Monument Mile was obviously a huge success in 2020 and is only going to get better. And with the quality displayed in Scottish running right now, there is no better time for a standout race to emerge. You never know, this could be one of the stepping stones to Scotland's next top athletes, or maybe even be the location for the next piece of Scottish running history.